Cell injury. Cell injury. Today we will going to see the cell injury. Injury means what? Damage. Now we will see here the cell injury means cell damage. How the cell will become damaged. We will going to see this one. The cell injury means cell damage. Cell damage takes place due to exposure of various stresses that causes changes in its internal as well as external environment. Due to the damaging of the cell, due to the exposure of the various stresses, the cell gets damaged, the cell gets injured, and that lead to internal and external environment will be changes. The cellular response to stress varies and is influenced by the following factors, that is the type of the cell and tissue involved, the degree and type of the cell injury. These two types we will later explain. But see here, the cellular response to stress, how the stress affected to the cell. According to that, the cell will get damaged. And this is depends on what type of the cell or what type of the tissue involved in that stress. And the degree and type of the cell injury. According to that, we can study the cell injury. Okay, we will explain later. See here, the following are the some examples of the cellular responses that causes the cell damage. We will see here. When there is an increased functional demand, listen carefully, when there is an increased functional demand, the cell may adopt the changes which are expressed morphologically and then revert back to the normal after the stress is removed. That is the cellular adaptation. See, when there is too much demand, when there is increased functional demand, what happens? The cell adapts. Okay, the cell changes according to that functions. Okay, the cell works more. Means what? Adapt means what? The cell works more and more according to that requirement, And then after the demand finishes, it again normalizes. How? I will tell you. When there is an exam, what we will do? We will study more hours, more and more. But normally how? Normally how? Not that much we are studying, isn't it? At the time of exam, during the exam, at night also we will study. And there is a stress. Okay. So this is the when the stress is mild or moderate. Understood this one? First one. When there is increased functional demand, the cell work more and more, and according to that it alters. But when the stress removed, it again get normalized. Okay, that is the cellular adaptations. When the stress is mild to moderate, the injured cell may recover. That is a reversible injury. That is the reversible cell injury. While when the injury is persistent, the cell death may occur. That is irreversible cell injury. Means there are two types, reversible cell injury and irreversible cell injury. Irreversible cell injury, reversible and irreversible. Okay. When the stress is mild or moderate, mild to moderate, then the cell may recover. After the stress removed, the cell may recover. That is the reversible. But when the stress is persistent, the injury is persistent, that time there may be chances of cell death. That is called as irreversible, will not get reversible. That is the permanent injury. That is the permanent, that is the irreversible cell injury. The byproduct of the cell injury, now see the third one, the byproduct of the reversible cell injury may persist in the cell as a proof of cell injury at subcellular level, that is the subcellular changes, or metabolites may accumulate within the cell, intracellular accumulation, that is the intracellular accumulation. See what happened here. I will tell you once again. If there is reversible cell injury, that time what happens? The byproduct of the reversible cell injury may remain as a proof, that is the metabolite, or some of the changes, subcellular changes are there, minor changes are there. Or sometimes the metabolites may remain or may accumulate within the cell itself. These are the three examples of cellular response. Understood? We will see again here according to our schematic representation. Okay, so that's why you can understand. See here the three types. The normal cell, okay? Adaptation, when there is more functional demand, when there is more demand from our body, what happens that time? Altered functional demand, okay? That time atrophy, hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia, okay? When there is a stress, there is alteration. The cell itself altered. I give an example of exam. Okay, during the exam, the students studied more and more. At night also they will study. They adopt. They altered. Okay, normally we are not studying at the night. Okay, but when the stress removed, when the exam finishes, that time again we will become normal. Okay. Okay, like that only when there is more demand, that time the cells altered. And when that time I will explain here more below this one, we will study this one, all these one. What do you mean by atrophy? What do you mean by hypertrophy? What do you mean by hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia? All I will explain, okay? Don't take tension. So when there is stress removed, the cell will become normal. But when there is a stress, there is atrophy. There may be hypertrophy, may be hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia, isn't it? When there is exam, we will study more and more. That time we will become how? You know very well, isn't it? Like that only the cell will become atrophy, hypertrophy, metaplasia, okay? When the stress removed, they will become, the cell will become again normal. Okay, restore normal. Now second one you see, reversible cell injury, that is mild to moderate stress. Mild to moderate stress, that is the degeneration, subcellular alteration, or intracellular accumulation. Okay, degeneration, there is some differentiation. Okay, degeneration, changes, subcellular alterations, okay, intracellular accumulation of some of the metabolites. Okay, so when the stress removed, again they will repair and healing. We see here. Okay, now next one, this one, the irreversible cell injury, severe persistent stress, that is the cell death. That is the, we call it as a cell death. Now see here all the definitions of the atrophy. What do you mean by hypertrophy? Okay, So see here, atrophy means what? Atrophy means what? That is the medical condition. Here in this atrophy, when there is less blood supply or there is a medical condition of losing of the flesh, muscle, strength, etc. in a part of the body because it does not have enough blood supply. There is a restricted blood supply, less blood supply. That time what happened? There is loss of the flesh, loss of the muscle, loss of the strength, isn't it? In a specific part where the blood supply is restricted. Okay, that time, that medical terminology we called as a atrophy. That cell become what? Tough. Okay, that means what? Understood this one? Losing of the flesh. How it will become only the skeleton? Means what? It is a tough, isn't it? Skeleton how much? If the flesh, if the muscle, if the strength it loses, then how it become like that? That is the atrophy. This is a medical condition terminology, atrophy. When there is restricted blood supply, when there is no blood supply, that time there is a atrophy. Now see here next, hypertrophy. Hypertrophy. Hyper, that is the more, or increase. Increase in the size of the cell or tissue in response to various stimuli. In response to various stimuli. A typical example I will tell you here, a muscle hypertrophy in response to exercise. A typical example is muscular hypertrophy in response to exercise. You know, when we will exercise, our muscle will become, we will get the muscle. You know that when the in gym, we will build up our muscles like that. That is the hypertrophy. Due to exercise, the muscles will get, we will gain the muscles, isn't it? So increase in the size of the cells or tissues in response to various stimuli, that is the hypertrophy. Now hyperplasia or hypergenesis, that is an increase in the amount of organic tissue that results from cell proliferation. Okay, increase in the amount of the organic tissue that results from cell proliferation. Cell proliferation means cell multiplication. Okay, there is an increase in the size due to multiplication of the cells. Okay, it may lead to gross enlargement of the tissue or organ. And the term is sometimes confused with benign neoplasia or benign tumor. Okay, in that cancer, there is a growth of the cell. There is a growth of the cell unnecessarily. Sometimes we confused, that is the, it is maybe benign tumor or benign neoplasia. That is the first stage of the cancer. Hyperplasia is common pre-neoplastic response to the stimulus. Understood this one? Hyperplasia. Hyperplasia is an increase in the amount of the organic tissue that results from cell proliferation, cell multiplication. Now, next one we see this one, that is the metaplasia. Metaplasia means what? It is defined as conversion of one cell to the another. Means it is alteration of one type to the another one. I will tell you here the example, that is the conversion of fibrous tissue into the bone, or columnar mucosal epithelium into stratified squamous epithelium. That is one type of the cell converted into the another, that is the metaplasia. Now next one, that is the dysplasia, a term used to describe the presence of abnormal cells within the tissue or organ. Listen carefully. Dysplasia, a term used to describe the presence of abnormal cells within the cell within the tissue or organ. Dysplasia is not cancer. Okay, dysplasia is not cancer, but it may sometime become cancer. It may become cancer. Dysplasia can be mild, moderate, or severe. It can be mild first stage, or moderate, or it can become severe depending on how the abnormal cells look under the microscope, or how much the tissue or organ is affected. How much the tissue is affected by the stress, according to that, it will be, the condition will be mild, moderate, or severe. It may become cancer sometimes. Okay, all the terminology understood: atrophy, hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, and dysplasia. Now we will see the etiology. What are the causes behind that cell injury? Okay, the cells may be injured by two ways, that is by genetic causes, by acquired causes. Genetic, from parents to the offsprings. Okay, from acquired causes, by the acquired, during that one the injury may take place, isn't it? That is the acquired one. Now see here, based on the underlying agent, which these are the agents causes the cell injury, can be further categorized as, according to this, hypoxia and ischemia. Less oxygen. Less oxygen. Due to less oxygen, there is damage to the cell. Before also, in the human anatomy physiology, I explained to you people, that is, we need food. Without food, we can survive month together. Without water, okay, days together. But without oxygen, not a single minute. Okay, so some of the cells in the brain, if they will not get the oxygen fraction of the second also, they will damage permanently. There is the death of the cell in the brain. So that's why at the old age, there is a Alzheimer's disease due to this only, because not supplying of the oxygen. So daily we have to do the exercise, that also pranayama. We have to take more and more oxygen, because every cells, every tissue needs the oxygen. That is the prime important. Okay, so when there is lack of oxygen or hypoxia, lack of oxygen means only the terminology we called as a hypoxia. The cells are unable to carry out their functions. Without oxygen, there is no function. Okay, the most common cause of the cell injury is hypoxia. Hypoxia can be caused by variety of factors, including, see here, reduced blood flow to the cells due to ischemia. A disruption in the blood supply to the cells, that is called as ischemia. We seen in the heart diseases, that is the ischemia. Okay, there is a reduced, that is the less blood supply to the cells. Further, next one, that is from the other cases. Which are those one? The disorder of oxygen carrying RBCs, means any defect to the RBCs, that is carbon monoxide poisoning, or due to anemia. Okay, these are the disorders of the RBCs. In some cases, in heart diseases, heart is the main, okay, supplying the main, that is the center for supplying the blood to all the organs or all the cells in our body. Lung diseases, lung, respiratory system, here only the oxygen and carbon dioxide giving, and it means inhalation and exhalation. Okay, that is the lung disease. If there is any lung disease, then also, and an increased demand of the tissue. Sometimes the tissue demands more and more oxygen, but if At that time, our body will not supply the oxygen. That time there is ischemia. Understood this one? These are the two causes of hypoxia. Which are those ones? Reduce the blood supply, flow of the blood, reduce the flow of the blood. The blood carries oxygen. If the blood supply is restricted, reduced, decreased, that time ischemia. That is due to the ischemia. Okay. From other disease, that is the disorder of the RBCs, heart diseases, lung diseases, that time. Or sometimes the organ demands more and more oxygen, that time there is the hypoxia or ischemia. Now see here the next one, that is the physical agents. Physical agents that causes the diseases are mechanical trauma, maybe road accidents, thermal trauma, that is the heat or cold, electricity radiations, ultraviolet, UV light or ionizing. Okay, sunstroke is also we can here we can mention ultraviolet, and isn't it? And the rapid changes in the atmospheric pressure. These are the physical agents, and that causes the damaging of the cell, and that causes the cell injury. Now next one, that is the chemical and the drugs. Maybe too many chemicals are there. These includes the chemical poisons such as cyanide, arsenic, mercury, strong acids, alkali, environmental pollutants, insecticides, isn't it? Pesticides, oxygen at high concentration, and therapeutic administration of the drugs. Therapeutic, though they are therapeutic, but we know the side effects or toxic effects of the drug. That is the chemical and drugs. Okay. Next one, immunological agents. See here, immunological agents. Immunity, strong immunity, that is good, isn't it? But here you see here, I given you the word, that is the double-edged sword. Means what? Talwar. Donni side ni ahe thi. How? Means immunity, it is good also, and hyperimmunity, hypersensitivity, that is bad also. We seen last only the autoimmune disease, that is the rheumatoid arthritis. Means what you see, if our immunity is good, we will survive. But what happens sometimes, the hypersensitivity reactions or autoimmune diseases takes place due to the hyperimmunity. Here, that's why we use this one, that is the double-edged sword. Immunity is a double-edged sword. It protects the host against the various injurious agents, but it may turn lethal and causes cell injury, that is hypersensitivity reactions and autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease, that is the rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. Next one, the microbial agents, maybe bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa, isn't it? The other parasites. Due to this, the cell will get damages. And next one, that is the nutritional derangement, that is the nutritional deficiency. Due to the nutritional deficiency, so many diseases are there, that is the protein calorie deficiency. Due to that protein calorie deficiency, marasmus is there. Lack of nutrients, that is due to starvation, isn't it? Kwashiorkor, due to that nutritional iron deficiency, that is we seen that one, anemia, trace elements deficiency, isn't it? And the other, that is the more nutrition, more food, due to that causes the obesity, atherosclerosis, heart diseases, hypertension. These symptoms are related to excess nutrition usually found in rich society. In the poor society, we see due to starvation, due to poor calorie of the protein, they suffer from marasmus, Kwashiorkor, anemia, trace element, isn't it? In the but rich society, what we find here, the obesity due to more nutrition, more and more nutrition. Obesity, atherosclerosis, heart diseases, hypertension, isn't it? Now see the next one, that is the aging. cellular aging or the circumstances leads to impaired ability of the cells to undergo replication, proliferation, or multiplication, and repair, and ultimately lead to cell death. Due to aging, you understood this one, aging. Due to aging, there may be the, due to aging, the cell injury is there. Psychogenic diseases, there are no specific biochemical or morphological changes in the common acquired mental diseases. However, the problems of the drug addiction, alcoholism, smoking results in various organic diseases such as liver damage due to that smoking, that alcohol, chronic bronchitis, lung cancer, peptic ulcer, hypertension, ischemic heart diseases, etc. That is due to psychogenic disease. Some of the individuals, they are habitual of that one mentally. That's why they are habituated of smoking, drug addicts are there, alcoholics are there, smokers are there, heavy smokers are there, and due to that one, they lead to liver damages, chronic bronchitis, inflammation of the bronchi, lung cancer, peptic ulcer, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, etc. Isn't it? Due to psychogenic diseases. Next one, iatrogenic diseases. Iatrogenic means what? Iatrogenic means what? That is due to doctor's mistake. That is due to physician's mistake. Means what? There are some of the disease as well as death related to iatrogenic causes, means owing to physician, due to mistake of the doctors. Example, I will tell you here. The disease or death may occur due to physician's mistake. That is, though they are prescribing the drugs, but due to that adverse drug reactions, ADR, adverse drug reaction of the prescribed drugs or radiation. Sometimes the radiation due to more that causes the damage of the cell or death of the cell. Okay. Due to ADR of the prescribed drugs, though they are prescribing that drugs that causes the side effects or the adverse drug reactions, complexity, so that's why the cell will get injured, damage. Now see here the idiopathic diseases. Idiopathic means still they are unknown, still the cause are unknown. So this is good for you for research purposes. Good for you for research, because still some of the diseases we can't understand what is the cause behind this. That is the 90% we can tell as a hypertension. Why the hypertension is there? So many causes are there, but still we don't know the exact cause of the hypertension. Okay, that is the idiopathic. The etiology or the causes we don't know still. Now see here the pathogenesis of the cell injury. Understood this one, etiology, or shall we go through once again? No, no. So see here the etiology. We will go through that one. Genetic or acquired. Okay, or some of the other, that is the hypoxia or ischemic. Hypoxia, ischemic. Physical agent, chemical agent, immunological agents, microbial agents, nutritional deficiency, aging, psychogenic diseases, iatrogenic causes, and idiopathic diseases. Okay, there are 10, the causes are there. Okay, understood this one? Now see here the pathogenesis of the cell injury. Pathogenesis of the cell injury. How the cell injury takes place. That is the pathogenesis we will see here. The cell injury caused by one or more of the etiological factors. We see above the etiological factors. Okay. The following principles are involved in the pathogenesis. Which type of the mechanism involved? We will see. The type, duration, and severity of the injurious agent. before only I told you I will explain later. This is this one, that is the type, duration, severity of the injurious agent. Means which type of the cell involved, how much the stress, the duration of the stress, and severity of the cell, how much the severity damage is there. According to that, the injury is we will define. So small dose, see here, I will explain here. The small dose of the chemical toxin or short duration of the ischemia cause reversible cell injury. Small dose and short duration causes reversible, but the same chemical but large dose and the persistent ischemia causes the death. Here, due to the small dose and the short duration causes what? Reversible cell injury. But the same chemical but higher dose and the persistent ischemia causes death of the cell. Understood this one now? Type, duration, and severity of the injurious agents. Okay. Now see here the second mechanism, that is the type, condition, and adaptability of the target cell. Now see here, which type of the cell involved, the condition, and how it adapts. According to that, the injury depends. For example, skeletal muscle can withstand hypoxic injury for long duration, but cardiac muscle suffers permanent cell damage after 20 to 30 minutes of the continuous ischemia. Some of the cells adapt, some of the cells will not adapt. Understood? Some can, okay. Now see here also, some of the students can study more and more, but some of the students, they will not withstand. Isn't it? See, listen, one best example I will tell you, immunity. The poor people have more immunity than the rich. Isn't it? The poor, they will not face to the some of the disease, isn't it? How they are living, their living lifestyle is too less, but their immunity is more. Though they are in rain, they will wait, but they don't have any type of the cold or something. But the rich people, they do not habitual of that waiting and everything, isn't it? Immediately they will fall into that common cold, isn't it? So like that, the type of that cell. See here, the skeletal muscles are withstand the hypoxic injury. Though there is less high oxygen, okay, skeletal muscle can withstand for long duration. But that is a sensitive, that is the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle will not get withstand with hypoxic. Only 20 to 30 minutes, if less oxygen supply, it causes the ischemia. It will suffer, the cell, the cardiac muscles will damages, isn't it? The cell death will occur here within the 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so that's why the type, condition, and adaptability of the target cell. Now, third mechanism, see here, the basic intracellular phenomena. All kinds of the cell injury are caused by the following fundamental biochemical phenomena. Which are those that one biochemical phenomena due to that the cell injury takes place? That is the ATP depletion. Due to reduction of the ATP, due to what? Mitochondrial injury. You know the mitochondria. You know the mitochondria where the ATP generates. If the generator means only the mitochondria, it get injured, how they will generate the ATPs, and ATP, this is the energy house, isn't it? Less energy, so that's why there is the injury, cell injury. No energy we supply from our body due to mitochondrial injury. Due to mitochondrial injury, there is a less ATP, that is only the ATP depletion due to mitochondrial injury. Now, second one, damage to the cell membrane. Damage to the cell membrane disrupts the metabolic and transmembrane exchanges. Damage to the cell membrane, it damages the metabolic and transmembrane exchanges. We see in this one in HAP, the cell membrane, it is a, what one we called as a, it is a transportable, the material can transport from the body to the cell, from the blood to the cell. This is the semi-permeable membrane. If it will get damages, there is no any exchange of the material. So that's why damage to the cell membrane disturbs the metabolic and transmembrane exchanges. And next one, that is the toxic free radicals are released. Free radicals, if that will released, that causes the damages to the cell. So these are the three phenomena, biochemical phenomena, that is due to depletion of the ATP, due to damage of the cell membrane, and due to release of the toxic free radicals. Free radicals are always dangerous, isn't it? So these are the basic three fundamental phenomena. Now this one, the morphological consequences. That is the changes in the morphology that will also causes the cell injury. Next one, pathogenesis of the ischemic and hypoxic injury. See here, the second one, that is the pathogenesis of the ischemic and hypoxic injury. Reversible cell injury. Now see here, the reversible cell injury, reversible. When the stress we will remove, again the cell will become here the normalized. If the ischemia or the hypoxia of short duration, the effects may be reversible on rapid restoration of the circulation. Okay, when there is stress, they will adapt, the cell will adapt. But when we will remove the stress, when they remove the stress, that time it will get again normal. That is the reversible. Okay, decreased generation of cellular ATP. Damage by the ischemia versus hypoxic from the other causes. From the other causes, we will see here, ATP is derived from the two sources in the human cells. We studied this one. First one aerobic and the second one anaerobic. Aerobic respiration or oxidative phosphorylation, okay, in the mitochondria. With the help of, it requires the oxygen. But second, that is the anaerobic, that is the, with here, here the ATPs are generated from the glucose or glycogen in the absence of the oxygen. That's why it is called as anaerobic, okay. Now see here the ischemia. In ischemia, aerobic respiration as well as glucose availability both compromised, resulting in more severe and faster effects of the cell injury. Okay, faster effect of the cell injury. Due to what? In ischemia. In ischemia, less supply of the oxygen. Okay, aerobic respiration as well as glucose availability both compromised, resulting in more severe and faster effects of the cell injury. Both, isn't it? In hypoxia, listen carefully, other causes, that is the RBC disorder, heart diseases, lung diseases, anaerobic glycolytic ATP generation continues and the cell injury is less severe. And the cell injury is here less severe because anaerobic glycolytic ATP generation continues here. So that's fine. But here both damages, isn't it? That's why here more severe cell injury. However, highly specialized cells such as heart, myocardium, proximal tubular cells of the kidney, and the neurons of the cell, and the neurons of the central nervous system. Before only I explained neurons of the central nervous system, that is the brain, are dependent solely on aerobic though there is a fraction of the second also the oxygen depleted decreases, then there is a permanent damage of the cells. So that's why continuous supply of the oxygen here is needed. Now see the symptoms. Cellular swelling. Okay, cellular swelling as a result of failure of the energy driven cellular energy driven ion pumps. Ionic pumps are there, isn't it? Water has accumulated. Breakdown of the cell membrane integrity and accumulation of the cellular electrolytes may also occur, and that's why there is a swelling in the cells. That is, the cellular swelling is considered to be a reversible condition. As a result of failure, energy-driven ionic pumps. In our body, the ionic pumps are there, isn't it? They work as a pump, isn't it? But if it fails, what happens? The water remain in our body. That is what accumulates, and that causes the cellular swelling. Now see here the cellular accumulations. Due to failure of the metabolic and transport mechanism, damaged cells can collect a variety of chemicals in addition to water. In addition to water, there may be minerals, there may be metabolic transport. The damaged cells can collect a variety of other chemicals, isn't it? So that's why again, there is a accumulation along with the water. Fats, proteins, glycogen, calcium, uric acid, specific pigments such as melanin are some of the substances that can collect in the damaged cells. These accumulations are generally reversible, but can integrate a greater degree of cellular injury. Along with the water, all these are accumulated in the damaged cells. That causes again the more damaging of the cell, that causes the more severe injury of the cell. Accumulation of these substances can lead to enlargement of the tissues or organ. For example, fatty accumulation is in an injured liver. If there is any fatty accumulation in an injured liver, there is a deposition of these substances in the damaged liver that we called as a fatty liver. Okay. Now, what is the treatment behind this one? What is the treatment for this cell injury? Simple one, that is the good nutrition, oxygenated blood, antibiotics for the wound healing, serrative peptides for reducing the swelling, and anti-inflammatory drugs. If there is any inflammation, give the anti-inflammatory drugs. If there is any pain, give the painkiller. If there is any swelling, to reduce that one, use the serrative peptides that reduces the swelling. If there is any infection due to that swelling, due to that accumulation of water, accumulation of other chemicals, it causes infection. And to relieve that one, antibiotics for wound healing. Okay, oxygenated supply of the blood and good nutrition. This is the treatment for cell injury. Understood this one? Treatment of the cell injury, and overall we completed the cell injury. Understood this one, cell injury? Now we will stop here only.